leather pants. Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel, or nice to meet you if it's your first time here. My name is Saskia and I'm a pole dancer. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips that I have for choreographing your own pole dance routine. I have competed in probably like 8 or 9 competitions, I'm not really sure anymore. But I have choreographed about 5 routines on my own. Obviously the first routine I put together in 2015 was not the best, but I learned from there. I think I have some cool tips that will help you put your own routine together. In this video, I'm going to be talking about creating a pole routine for a competition. Later on, I am going to make a video where I'm talking about how to create like your stage routine, which I think is very different, but there are some similarities. If you're interested in that, that's going to be a different video. Today is specifically for competitions. I'm going to link all of the videos that I am referencing in the description box. Those are all my competition routines. So anything that I'm referencing when I talk about a routine and how I choreographed it, you can go check that video out if you're interested. The first thing that I think you should do when you're choreographing a pole routine is finding a song. Finding a song is usually pretty hard. I'll listen to so many songs over and over, trying to find the right one with the right kind of beats and stuff. This is totally up to you and your style. Obviously, it's going to be totally different for everyone and different for everyone's style of movement, style of piece, whatever division you are going to be entering in. So, picking a song, you want to find a song that has a lot of changes. I think a song that is the same the whole way through kind of gets boring to watch, and you don't really have as much opportunity to make moves that pop, go with certain noises and sounds in your music. So when I'm trying to find a song, I'll listen for the opening. I want the beginning first 30 seconds to be powerful because you need to create an ambiance and you want the audience to really be captivated in that first 30 seconds. So I'll listen to the first 30 seconds, something that starts off slow, like boom, bum, 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 bum. Something like that is always good because you can do like shape, shape, shape. You know what I mean? And like have a moment at the beginning where you're almost still for the audience to just look at you and kind of take you in. I think that is always a good idea. Another thing that I'll look for is that there are lots of arcs, or at least one arc, so that the song kind of builds toward a climax and then kind of descends after the climax. What you're looking for is maybe like a chorus, and then it gets poppy, bigger, bigger, and then a boom, and then it works its way back down, and then works its way back up, and then a boom. And you're going to see later, obviously, when you're choreographing, those things are going to come in handy, those sounds that you can put the movements together with those sounds. I hope that makes sense. Finding a song that doesn't have too many obvious lyrics over and over, or if it does, you've got to make your routine fit with those lyrics, if you know what I mean. So that's the song. The second thing I think is important to think about is your theme. Your theme goes hand in hand with your song. Some of the themes that I've used made more sense than others, and like I said, I'm gonna link them down below. So the first routine I ever choreographed, my theme was that I was waking up from a coma, and this was my body coming back to life. That theme was a little bit wishy-washy. I didn't really know exactly what I meant by it, and I didn't have a lot of intention when I was dancing with that theme, and I can see it looking back on the routine. It's my amateur routine from 2015. So if you look at that routine, you can see that There is some kind of idea of a theme of waking up at the beginning, but that's it. And then it dies from there. There is no obvious, clear concept. And I think that really hindered that performance. Another routine I did after that was Moo, to Doja Cat's Moo, which is the Bitch I'm a Cow song. So that, obviously, I just went with it and I dressed up as a cow. Oh, I need to sneeze. Okay. So I just went with it and I dressed as a cow. So I started in a cow onesie, and I was competing in classique, which is like exotic, sexy pole, so in heels. So I started in a cow onesie and I crawled out, and then partway through the routine I took the cow onesie off and I had a cow bikini underneath. So my theme for that was I'm a cow. And at the end of the performance, I eat a burger and I pour milk all over myself. So it kind of wrapped the theme together. A lot of people really liked that routine, and I think it was just because it was so easy to get. So easy for people to be like, oh, that's funny, you're a cow, I like it. People want to relate to your routine. So if it's too confusing and too deep, a lot of the time people are not going to get it. I think that sticking with a theme that is very clear is always a good idea. My most recent routine that I performed live was called Apocalypse, and I started out with a gas mask. And the theme of my routine was that it is an apocalypse. I need my gas mask to breathe. I take it off while I'm dancing, and I dance, but by the end of the routine, I need my gas mask to continue breathing. So I crawl my way back to the mask and put it on for the final moment. And I have goosebumps, which is weird, but yeah, that routine was really, really important to me. And I think that, again, the theme all the way through, the fact that I needed my gas mask to breathe, and the fact that I crawled back to my gas mask at the end, brought the theme together, and that's what made it interesting for the audience. So having a theme that you carry from beginning to end, I think is really important. If you're going to use props, I think that it's really important that you use your prop throughout the routine. If you start with a hat and you throw the hat, find the hat at the end of the routine. We want to see the gift wrapped with a bow on top. We want to see your whole story be told from beginning to end. So if you start with a wand and you cast a spell and you throw the wand, by the end of that routine, that spell has either come true, or you've gone and found your wand and you found a pose with the wand, but make sure you tie it together at the end. The sun is coming up, so there's sun coming in now, which is really nice. Can't believe I'm doing this at 7:57 in the morning. So now when it comes to choreographing the actual piece, first thing I would do is make a list of the skills that you know you're comfortable doing. This means tricks that you know every single time you try to do it, you can do it, no problem. If you put tricks in your routine that you need to work towards, that's going to take a lot of time out of your finesse portion, and your routine is going to struggle. I can't think of the word I'm trying to say. Once you've made that list of skills, then go through your song and break it down into. Unfortunately, I can't play any like copyright music for you to show you what I mean, but I'll just kind of like do a little beat and I'll break it down. So say your opening of your song is ba-da ba 2 3 ba-da ba 2 3 ba-da ba 2 3 ba-da ba 2 3. So 4 little chunks is how I'm going to break that up, right? Ba-da ba 2 3, that's 1. Ba-da ba 2 3, that's 2, and then a 3, and then a 4. So you're breaking up your first chunk of your song into those 4 pieces. Then you're going to do that through the whole song, breaking it up into little chunks. So the way I write this down, I'll put a photo here. It's usually like 6 to 8 second pieces. So it'll take me like a page or 2 pages to write the whole song out. From there, I try to fit in with the sounds and the noises of the music what moves I think would fit well with those sounds. So this part is definitely labor intensive. You're gonna have to listen to your song multiple times as you go through with your list. You also want to figure out which of your moves you know you want to do at the beginning of the choreography. So I know if I'm going to do a ninja kick or a flying back spiral, everyone calls it something different, I'm going to do it in my first pole pass because I get sweaty hands, and if I'm going to be flying in a one-handed spin, I need to do that at the beginning before my hands get wet, before the nerves kick in. Some people start on the pole, but I think I have really sweaty hands. Starting on the pole stresses me out, and I know by the time I have to do anything, once my music starts, my hands are going to be a puddle. So I prefer to start on the floor. I'll choose how much of the routine I want to stay on the floor, and then wherever in the music it sounds like would be a good moment to start climbing, then I'll write climb next to that count on my paper, climb. Then I'll keep listening. Next time there's like a pop in the music, choose one of those moves that I know I'm really good at, put it there. Keep listening. Next time there's another pop in the music, put another move that I know I'm good at, put it right there. Obviously there's going to be gaps, but you're going to continue through the song like that. The moves that you do well, putting them in the moments where the song has a pop or a boom, a pow. You know what I mean? A drop. So that's the best way to make the audience and the judges pay attention at the right moments, is obviously to your musicality, lining up your cool moves with the cool part of the song. You also want to think about what parts of the song you want to be doing on spin pole and what parts of the song you want to be doing on static. So obviously right now during COVID times, competitions are done virtually, so most of us are competing with one pole. With PSO competitions, you are allowed to choose if it's spin or static, and most people do choose spin just because it is easier to do a whole routine on spin than it is on static, because you can kind of flow in between moves rather than having to stay in motion the whole time. Some people are highly skilled on static pole and could do a whole routine on static and still have it be really entertaining. But in my opinion, lower level pole dancers usually are able to pull off a better routine on spin if they only have access to one pole. You're gonna work your way through the routine, placing all those moves. Obviously, you've got your harder moves near the beginning when you've got most of your strength, but you want to leave at least one hard move for the end, for that final bang. You want to leave your audience with that feeling of wow. So you definitely want to have one move at the end that is one of your strong moves. Once you have broken down your song and added in the moves where you think they're going to go best, obviously you're going to have tons of gaps, tons of unchoreographed space. Those gaps are going to naturally start to close in on themselves as you practice and bring this routine to life. So don't worry too much at the beginning about having gaps in your routine, because you're not going to be able to perform the routine from beginning to end right away anyway. What I recommend is first just walking through it in your head. So playing the song and imagining each move. Here I'm climbing, and now I invert, and now outside leg hang, and now inside leg hang, and now jade. You know, just imagining the moves, imagining the combo as you hear the song. Next thing you're going to want to do is trying to do a walkthrough. So you're going to play your song and you're just going to walk through all of the moves in your head. I'm going to start on the floor over here, walk over here to my pole. I'm going to climb. You don't have to really climb, but just pretend. And then I'm coming down, and then I walk over here, I do some floor, walk over there, just to get an idea of where you're going to be traveling throughout the piece. Then is time to do your first rough run. So put on some dry hands, get all warmed up, and then you're going to play your song and you're just going to freestyle, trying to incorporate all of the things that you've already planned in your head into this routine. Freestyling is definitely a great way to hone in on your own flow. I think that Freestyling is going to bring you a really natural looking routine as opposed to choreographing the whole thing and trying to do it exactly the same every time. That usually ends up looking stiff from my experience. Some people can do it really well, but I do think that a lot of the time when you can freestyle through your comfortable moves, it's going to look a lot more natural and a lot more fluid. Don't stop until the end of the song. This is super important, and I know I should take my own advice because I definitely don't always do this, but if you have a video of yourself going through the whole song, even if you're not doing anything, you can watch that video back and picture, okay, I could have gone here, I could have gone there, I could have climbed, I could have, and then this, and then that. Whereas if you stop filming and stop dancing, you don't have that video that you can look at and imagine. So it's really, really useful to have a video of yourself moving throughout the whole song, even if it's nothing like what your final routine is going to be. There is no right way to choreograph a pole routine, obviously, but I do think that using a formula kind of helps if you're new to this and if you've never done it before. In a competition, I need to do some floor, I need to do some static, and I need to do some spin. So trying to find a way to fit all of those things in, and hopefully a little bit more than once on each. Trying to make sure you travel and don't just go 1, 2, 3. You want to make a few crosses around the stage and use as much of the stage as possible to really keep your performance interesting. Another thing you want to think about when you're choreographing a routine is that you want to have a balance between strength moves and flexibility moves. So everyone obviously is going to have their own fortes. I personally am way better at flexibility moves than I am at strength moves, but I definitely make sure that I include one strength move in every routine I do because I need to get those points. When you're doing a competition, it does come down to the fact that you're trying to win. If you're not trying to win, that's a totally different story, but if you're trying to win, then trying to follow the rules and the guidelines is your best bet. They'll send you a pack of rules. Read the rules. One time I showed up to a competition and the pole was a foot shorter than I thought it was going to be, and no, it was 2 poles. They were both stage poles, and they were both a foot shorter than I thought they were going to be, so I had to on the spot change my routine. So read the rules. You won't regret reading the rules in depth. It looks really nice in a routine when you have a balance between fast moments and then slow. So you're starting off your routine, boom, 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 and then the song slows down and your body slows down with it. That contrast is really interesting for an audience to watch. Same with the contrast between moves up high on the pole and moves down low on the pole. Really important that you incorporate the whole height of the pole and the floor. Your execution is really important when you're doing a competition, so pick moves you're comfortable with that you can execute 100%. A lot of people will show up to a competition with a nice song, a flowy routine, and a sparkly outfit. You need to do something that's going to stand out. The last thing I'm going to mention is your audience connection. When you're competing, the most important thing is how you interact with your audience. If you do an amazing routine, but you're looking down the whole time, the audience will see that, the judges will notice. It's really important that you look up and engage with your audience throughout the routine. Even if you can't see them, just look into the audience. You don't have to smile. Do what suits you and suits your performance, but make sure you're engaging with the audience. And at the end, make sure you always bow, or at least acknowledge. I have heard of instances where dancers have actually been penalized for exiting the stage without acknowledging the judges before leaving. It is a sign of respect, so make sure you do that before you leave the stage, and make sure that you leave with your head held high. Even if you mess up while you're on stage, the judges are watching until the very last minute, the last second, so make sure you stay professional. Keep your head held high and walk off with confidence. So I hope these tips have helped you, and if you use these tips when you're creating your next pole routine, please tag me or send it to me so that I can see. Enjoy choreographing and have fun dancing. Take care. Wetsuit and pajama pants. It's a weird look.